self-esteem today. If you're watching and you're in your 20s, you need to understand that comparing yourself to other people is a waste of time. You know, it's nice to have something to aspire to in terms of how you want to grow, say financially or socially, if you understand what I mean. But you can't really just spend all of your time people watching, because eventually you'll spend so much of your time doing that you're neglecting to actually move yourself forward. And if you would have spent that time moving yourself forward, you'd be in a way better position. You know, growing up, I was around the area where, I was close to a trailer park. A lot of my friends lived in trailers. So I've seen people who didn't have a lot of money, and then they would go to school and stuff like that. This is back in elementary. They'd go to school and get bullied. I got bullied as well due to the fact that I grew up in a small house. People would say that I lived in a box and all of this, just because their parents had a bunch of money. But growing up, I went through a lot of stuff like that. My parents, first my mom left, then my dad divorced my stepmom. It was just a mess. And that took a toll on my self-esteem. If you're someone who's in a tough family situation, say either you've got a family that's a mix of your dad or mom's girlfriend or boyfriend, kids, and then you and your siblings, don't let that make you feel like less. Or if you're in a situation where one parent's gone and you're living with one, say a divorce, or with what happened with me, they just walked out. Again, don't let that distract you. Being depressed, it's a thing that happens. Being sad, but try not to wallow in it too much, because you won't realize how quickly time is passing you by if you do that. Me, I spent my entire 20s being depressed and not doing anything with my time. And what did it get me? Nothing. Now that I'm in my 30s, I need to actually get, real about health issues and stuff, fix stuff up. And some things leave lingering scars, even though you can't see them. But if you can avoid that, if you can avoid wasting your 20s, why not do it? Let's say, if you feel like you're below people due to financial stuff. If you have a job, I would suggest putting away maybe $400 of every paycheck, if you can, into savings. Just keep doing that. Just take the money, put it in there, and pretend that it doesn't exist. If you want to get snacks or something and you're low on funds in your main account, you just can't do it. So you'll want to get your gas filled up for the week or 2 weeks or however long gas can last you, and just power through it. Focus on waking up, getting to work, being as happy as you can, and over time, your reward will be more money. Now, if you have to spend this on unexpected expenditures or something like that, that sucks, but you'll still have the money to do that, and you can keep on saving after, right? For me, a big thing is I see a lot of people who have a family and stuff, or they're able to afford these nice cars, and it baffles me. I don't understand how. But my best guess is either they already had money, or they planned carefully, or they, I don't know, are just better at saving. And that's how they did it. But instead of me putting myself below them, all I have to do is think, okay, how can I get myself to that level? But that's the same thing with anything. It's finding a way to take your negative thoughts and just kind of mute them. For example, with me, I've mentioned before, health problems that worry me, like hyperhidrosis and stuff like this. What I'm trying to do is just focus on day-to-day stuff. Admittedly, I have to focus focus more on losing weight. But if I can do that, I'll be progressing more towards being in better health. That can be applied to your financial state, to your social state. By that I mean, let's say you feel like you want more friends. Instead of thinking about that all the time, what you could do, find functions related to stuff that you're interested in. Find online groups related to things you're interested in. Forums, maybe expos near you that come around, and just talk to people while you're there. Go out more. I mean, it's difficult, but it's manageable, you know? It's not impossible to make friends. And I think people kind of emphasize how hard it is, you know? And you don't have to feel like a loser if you don't have many friends. That's not the case at all. I think it's common to only have a couple friends, really. But don't beat yourself up. Don't sit there and think that, oh, you know, I'm worthless or something like that. Because that's not the case. You can learn something from everybody. I don't think there's a person alive that you can't learn something from. It's just up to you to take the information, apply it to yourself, and find a way to use it that actually benefits you. I find that ruminating a lot on things doesn't really do much. It doesn't benefit you. All it is just a way to kind of waste time if you think about it. And I mean, really, like, I want you to think, how much time have you spent just thinking about things, or feeling sad, or wanting something, or comparing yourself to somebody else, or being mad at somebody else who isn't aware of you? If it's a significant amount of time, think of what you could do if, instead of spending your time focused on whoever or whatever, you focused on directly right now what you can do. I understand I may repeat myself a lot, but I feel like it is important. So for me, what I'm doing, as much money as I can, so maybe $450 each paycheck, I'll set aside. One of my goals is to be able to get a newer car that won't break down in the winter all the time, and that'll be more reliable. You know, something like 2020 to 2024, 25. That's going to take a long time because I'm starting essentially at zero. But if I use the time in front of me quickly to add up those dollars, then I can accomplish my goal. Yes, it takes a while, but luckily, in the time between that, I can focus on other things. I can focus on working out, which I need to do. I'll probably have to work out a bit today, or if not tomorrow. Because, I'm not in good shape right now. I need to fix my stuff. That comes from me stress eating. My self-esteem then gets low. I start to feel like I'm ugly, or like I'm fat or something. You see what I mean? And when you gain weight, maybe it's my perception, or maybe it's reality, but I feel like people treat you worse. They feel like they can walk on you or something, or like you're less human, and I don't like that. And it's men and women, and I don't get it. It's like, what are you angry to have to look at somebody, you know? But at the same time, the time and effort that I put into thinking about that, I could put into actually getting in shape and doing it for myself, because, you know, the only person person you really have to impress is you. Because you're never going to impress 100% of people. If you put all your time and effort into being the most impressive person you think you can be for other people, there's still going to be people who hate you just for no reason. That's just how it is. I've never been somebody who's going to sit around and spend all my time harassing or insulting other people, you know what I mean? And if you're watching, I hope that you aren't like that too, or if you were, that you've changed your mind on that. Focus on taking as much knowledge as you can, applying it where you can, and living in the now. One thing I want to do is I would like to go outside on just little walks and collect recycling, because that way I can put those cans and bottles away, take them in and get a little bit of extra change for it. You might laugh or say, oh, that's gross, but I mean, hey, it's extra change, extra money that can be used to gas money, saving, whatever. I once heard of a guy who was collecting bottles because he wanted to go on a trip and pay for the trip entirely with recycled bottles. And I mean, you can. It takes a while. It's a little bit dangerous without people leave needles and stuff around, but it's possible. I actually went to get a panini recently for my girlfriend, and as soon as I stepped outside, there was a fentanyl needle on the ground. Then there was a guy smoking crack on the bench. And he was just there, or maybe it was meth, I don't know, it was one of those weird pipes with the ball at the end. I don't know. I don't even know what that has to do with anything. I apologize. But, you see what I mean? To some extent. Oh, I forgot what I was even talking about in terms of my track. At any rate. Oh yes, collecting recycling. If you can find something like going outside collecting recycling, maybe bicycling, something like that to keep you busy, just in your free time, that's a positive. If you like making YouTube videos, why not try to make your own, see if you can get an audience, and then eventually be able to make passive income off of it. Even if it's only $100 every couple months. Hey, when you get that could cover your gas money for 2 months or so, depending on how much you spend on gas. That can help you. Because in a case like that, it's that money that you make off your YouTube can go towards paying for gas so you can keep more of your paycheck. And for me, I have to pay back student loans, right? Because at one point I was in an online university. And even though I didn't spend all of the money, for some reason I have to pay $10,000 back. It takes a while, but, so every month I have to pay them $200. That sucks, but, eventually it'll be paid off. So, I budget my money. I put it away. I find ways to save as much as I can. And eventually, I'll be able to upgrade. I've considered financing, but hey, you need to have at least, I would say, $8,000 set aside to do that safely, just in case something happens and you aren't able to pay for some reason, you lose your job or something. But make yourself a goal. If there's something you want, if you find yourself comparing yourself to other people negatively, make yourself a goal. Write it down. I don't mean in the manifestation way where you're writing down your intentions. Just write it down so you have a mental note. You can look at it and think, okay, this is what I'm trying to do. Keep on working at it. Don't put yourself down. Don't compare yourself to other people, because those other people have never been you. They'll never be you. All that you can be is you. So you should focus on making your life as happy as possible. And eventually, if you keep sight of your goals, you will be able to do it. Now, I don't know economically what the world is going to look like in a while. I know it's kind of scary how like artificial intelligence is being implemented in like jobs at drive-thrus or places where if someone is intellectually disabled or something like that, they'd be able to get a job like at a fast food restaurant or something like that. There's now AI being used to do those jobs, which displaces people who could have been given a job. And I don't like it when people are like, oh, well, they weren't even really doing hard work anyway. It's like, everyone should be able to have a income. If they're able to work, they should be allowed to work. Do you know what I mean? Like, I saw a video recently. If you put someone in a position where you give them low expectations and you don't presume competence, oftentimes they will be stuck in the box, in the prison that is made for them. There's a video about someone with Down syndrome about that, how they were basically kept in a prison of low expectations. So, don't put anyone into a box, you know what I mean? I know this one's all over the place, but it's just like various thoughts when it comes to self-esteem and things like that. For me, one thing that I wish is that I was able to have a family now, or start a family now. I'm hoping, my relationship stays good, that I'm able to help people through this, able to grow this, able to grow career-wise, able to get better health-wise, that my hyperhidrosis isn't anything severe, just hoping that things stay good and that I can help to make them good by making good choices financially and all of that. And then that over time I will become more of the person that I would like to be. Do you understand what I mean? And you can apply that to yourself too. Take something that you really want, like I said, write it down and think of ways that you can get that. If you don't have a job, start looking around for something. Doesn't have to be anything super high-end. You could work at like retail or fast food, anything like that. Though working fast food is brutal. Find something that allows you to have some money coming in. Squirrel some away. And eventually, you'll be able to slowly make progress. While you're doing this, do not compare yourself to other people, because they aren't you. And you only see the positive side. You don't see the negative sides and the struggles. Just focus on you. It's going to take a while. That can be brutal too, but you don't have to always focus on that. You can have multiple things going at once. So while you're saving your money, instead of going out and spending, you could find new things you like doing. You could play games that you have. You could read. You could do, word searches. You could work out. Anything that you think would be fun. Because that really is the thing. It takes time, but you also have to find ways to be productive while you wait. Do you get what I'm saying? Because if you just sit there and you're angry, it just kind of eats away at you. You know what I mean? It's not good. And for me, like I said, main goals: save money, get in better shape, start a family. Sadly, I have to wait until, probably 2 more years to start a family. I wish I could now, but what I'll do is focus on getting more money set aside and all of that. Focus on bettering myself, hopefully being in a better position health-wise and financially, and then, hey, that'd be great. that would be beneficial to a family, right? I want you to take that and apply it to your situation. And I won't put down whatever your wants are and your goals because, again, you are you. So it's important to you, so it matters. And don't let other people put you down either. If they don't understand what you're wanting, they don't have to know. They don't have to care about it. It's not to do with them. It's to do with your personal goals. So if you're watching this, keep your self-esteem up. You have value. Understand that it doesn't matter what other people think about your goals or you. All you have to do is zone in, if you get what I'm saying. Zone into what you want. And eventually, you will be able to reach that goal if you keep at it. So I'm wishing you a wonderful night. I'm going to be working on videos more often. Longer videos, more role plays. I want to thank my now 3 members. I didn't even realize another person joined. There is Bruno, who's the newest one, David, and Marvin. And I think Bruno's picture is Ray from IVE. She's probably my favorite member of IVE. I would say yes, she is, yeah, of IVE, yes.